when Charles Dickens wrote, "It was the best of times, it was the worst of times," he may well have been thinking of the Lakers last night. On the same night that LeBron James passes his childhood idol, everyone's childhood idol, Michael Jordan, into fourth place on the NBA's all-time scoring list, the Lakers fall even further and more helplessly out of playoff contention in a game in which they were really being blown out by Denver most of the night, made it close in the fourth quarter, but couldn't get it done. Jalen is ready to go, and I'm told Stephen A. Smith is ready to go as well, live from Los Angeles. Good morning, Steve. You were there last night in L.A., and so we've been trying to sort of figure out the storyline today really doesn't feel like LeBron passing Michael Jordan, as crazy as that sounds. It feels like them continuing to disintegrate. Rajon Rondo sitting far from his teammates at the end of the game. You were there. What was your primary takeaway?
Well, first things first, props to Jalen Rose, because the Denver Nuggets reminded me that he supported them, and I did it at the beginning of the season in the post-game locker room. So kudos to you, Jalen. But on a more serious note, certainly it was a bit bittersweet. On one hand, it was sweet because LeBron James eclipsed Michael Jordan's record. On another hand, he started off the game missing 4 consecutive free throws. Everybody in the arena knows that the Los Angeles Lakers are the worst free throw shooting team in the NBA. So that was cause for boos early on. They were down 19, as much as 19. That definitely generated some boos. We saw that they ultimately would lose this game. That generated some boos when people realized that the inevitable had arrived. And of course, Rondo looking unprofessional the way that he did. It wasn't the first time that he's done it. It's not new. He was accurate in stating that. And some people have pointed to the fact that LeBron James himself did that. But I think what people were missing is how Brian Shaw and Luke Walton and the coaching staff were staring at Rondo, looking at him while he was sitting over there away for the team. They clearly were offended by what he was doing. It wasn't something that they considered normal or of proper decorum. And Magic Johnson was in the arena as well. And so you had people booing. You had people looking at the Lakers. They were disgusted with what they were seeing. They were embarrassed by what they were seeing. Plus, you're hearing noise now that Brandon Ingram is not happy, that his father is talking more and more to folks. There's some questions as to whether or not Rob Pelinka and Magic Johnson are on the same page. I'm getting texts 3 o'clock in the morning talking about Rob Pelinka is safe. He's not going anywhere. All is fine. This is the kind of stuff that's been going on with the Los Angeles Lakers. It's an absolute disaster as we speak right now, disintegrating before our very eyes, because it's not just about losing games. It's how you're losing games and how the culture that Magic Johnson was hired to basically eradicate because of the Jim Buss debacle of an era. This is disintegrating to the point where it's just as bad, except in some people's eyes, it's worse because you didn't have talent back there before. Kobe obviously was old and getting ready to retire, whereas this time you had the best player in the world in LeBron James, and this is happening on his watch and Magic's watch.
Stephen A., you talked about the unhappiness of the fans, and you mentioned the boos. What are some of the chants you got a chance to hear of those unhappy fans?
The team was saying that, it's morning television, but the S word, they threw that out there. They were talking about, every time they shot, it wasn't really chants per se. It was that they were missing free throws, and then you hear the boos just descending from the rafters on down. You see folks, directors and producers and the who's who of Hollywood sitting courtside, walking away, rolling their eyes, completely disgusted. Folks are sitting there saying, what are you here for, LeBron? Are you here to play basketball, or are you here for Hollywood? And in fairness to him, he's performing. He's going on the court performing. It's not ideal at times when he points the finger at his teammates and stuff like that. But the reality is that he's going on the court and he's performing. But Ramona Shelburne came on my radio show just a couple of days ago, and I thought she adroitly pointed out something that was very poignant. She said that his definition, and Plasky said this on the Will Kane show as well, it seemed that his definition of joining Laker Nation was joining Hollywood as opposed to ingratiating himself with Laker fans. And you could see they appreciate his greatness because they gave him a standing ovation when he broke Michael Jordan's record. Outside of that, they didn't really show any love whatsoever. They're not feeling this Lakers team. They're not feeling LeBron James. And if Magic Johnson doesn't fix this soon, they ain't going to be feeling him either. And I said this about Irvin Magic Johnson. That's how bad it's looking right now.